Good morning, everyone. So what we are covering today is how to properly maintain your hand slide. There is a process called swabbing that needs to be done every time you lubricate your hand slide. Otherwise, you just end up building up all of this lubricant inside the hand slide. It ends up getting gummy and sticky, and that stuff also dries out over time and creates buildup in the slide that we then have to ultrasonically or acidically clean the slide to get it out. So let's cut to the other camera. And what we have here is cheesecloth. This is 12-inch wide strips, and I'm going to give you a link to the cheesecloth that I would recommend. It's called grade 90, which is almost feels like regular fabric, and then it's cut to about 40 inches, and I have it doubled over here. So at home, what you're going to do is cut you a piece about, it's okay to have some excess because I'm going to show you what to do whenever you get one end of it dirty here, is you just cut the end of it off. So a little extra length gives you something to hold on to at the end of this. So let me pause this video, get the camera set up, and we are going to show you how to wrap this. So see you guys in just a second. So we have our 12-inch cloth doubled over here. We are going to double it over once more. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this is the stuff that comes pre-cut from Yamaha, and we end up with a lot of excess of this stuff because not everybody wants it. And so it's what I use to swab slides, but I would be ordering the product that I'm linking for you guys if we were not faced with huge excess of this stuff. We're just going to pull through an ear about yay long and then roll 1, 2 times for a large bore trombone. And so then we have this little ear sticking up here. And I want that ear, so you'll notice this would be flat. I'm actually rolling in at 45 degrees and making this little ear of fabric. And I want that because it pads the end of the swab rod, so if you hit your crook, it's not going to put dents in your crook. So then we're going to fold it over and start wrapping. And we want a nice thick swab. Don't wrap it too tightly because we have to adjust it and be able to hold on to it here. So we'll call this good for now. Let me go grab this slide. And so here we have the slide that I've been breaking the tubes in on. What we want to do is first see if we can put the swab in. And the answer is no. So what we need to do is start pulling the cloth down the length of the swab. And see, now we're actually covering up and can reach the handle. And now let's see if that goes in firmly. Yes, it does. And so you want to be able to put this swab on and be able to shake your slide up and down like this and it not come off. I don't recommend doing that at home, by the way. And then the first time putting it in, you're just going to feel where it naturally wants to stop. Go slowly. And then pull out about ½ an inch. And then hold on to the end of the swab rod with the palm of your hand and use your thumb as a guide, a depth guide. And so now you know that whenever your thumb touches the end of the tube, you're not going to hit your crook and cause any dents. So what we want to do is we're going to swab a small portion of the slide at a time, work it in and out hold onto the tube as far away as you can, where it's kind of right in the center of your body. This is where you have the most strength and therefore the most control. You just swab in and out rapidly, and you're going to feel this start to heat up. What we're doing is heating up all of that old grease, grime, silicone and stuff, and then it is melting into the fabric. And so then we're going to keep moving out just in small sections. At this point, there's no concern of hitting the crook. Let's see what came out of that. So we've got just a little bit of gunk. This is break-in stuff that is still coming out. But in the case of most slides, the stuff that is that color is old oil and lubricant. This one doesn't have any old oil and lubricant. So now let's swab the other two. Once again, I'm going to put it in carefully. Back off by 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Put the thumb there. And then rapid in and out motions. This takes a little bit of stamina. And so you can do both sides of your slide that way. Not too much more came out, so that's good. So now let's go discuss what to do with this end so we don't waste as much muslin as we can. So what I've done here is taken the muslin off of the swab rod, and we can see kind of a pattern here. We have right there was the tightest portion, and then we have a little bit of grime further on down, but nothing too bad. And so we have basically this portion of muslin right here can be cut off. We do also have, if you get fancy with your wrapping, you can use the other side of it because the other side is still clean. I wouldn't recommend, it starts to get messy after unwrapping it a couple of times like that. So what I usually end up doing, I just cut it off, start fresh, and then we've still got plenty to hold on to. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Go get our lubricant, and we will discuss the lubrication side of things. So here we have our inner slide, and on the inner slide, all you need to do is take a rag, even take a piece of your cheesecloth, and just wipe it off. There should be very little to nothing coming off of the inner slide tubes. Maybe a little bit if you use a slide cream, and we are going to discuss both types. So what I have right here is Yamaha slide lubricant, and here we have Yamaha slide cream. Substitutes for these would be, for the Yamaha liquid, would be Super Slick Rapid Comfort, and for the slide cream would be Trombone. And that's going to cover all of your basic types of lubricants for the Handslide. I'm going to start with the cream. So all you need is a small pea-sized dab. We're going to put that on the stocking. That is what this portion of the Handslide is called, is the stocking. Then we're going to start to distribute that around. just work it the entire length of the slide. And do the same thing on this other side. And if it looks like you've got more on one than the other, just take it off of one, put it on the other. So now that we've got this evenly distributed, once again, I'm using old swabbing ragging. I'm going to take our outer slide. One of the important things, always do this with the slide being held vertically like this. We're just going to put that in and work that lubricant. I am kind of working the inner slide in a circular motion like this, and that is going to evenly coat the outer slide tubes with Trombone or Yamaha or whatever your lubricant of choice is, if it's a cream application, to the outer slide. From there, we can see on the inner, we still have a lot of lubricant on there. So especially on this one, this is a really tight slide and one that I would not actually recommend a cream lubricant on because it's so tight. The cream tends to be a little bit of a space filler, and so it works better on an older slide or a slide with loose tubes. As you can see, on this slide, it's a little bit gummy. So if you still have some gumminess after applying, just continue to work it. Get all of that gunk out of there. So there we've got some more excess on the outer, or the inner, excuse me. And what you can even do, lay these down and rewrap my swab rod. Is before you cut off the dirty portion of your cheesecloth, you can use it to remove the excess. There, you can see I've still got plenty, even after cutting it off, to hold on to. I'm not going to try to heat it up. See, look there. So this slide still has a lot of gunk inside of it too. From when I polished the tubes. So whenever you use the slide cream, if the tubes come out looking like that, definitely swab it again. So we're going to re-swab this. And I am personally going to continue doing that. I think I'm going to use that slide cream on this a few more times because that was actually pretty effective. And sometimes these slide creams, let's see if this actually says, it does not. Sometimes these have detergents in them. One of the ingredients is sometimes just plain dish soap. I think that's more common on the liquid types, which is what I would recommend on a newer slide. So the way that you do a liquid, let me put this down. So the way you do a liquid is just run a bead, a generous bead. Ooh, still slick from the cream on the stockings. My goodness. Whew. Get the heart to thumping in the morning. Once that's applied to the stockings, just use it and work it in the same way that you would with the cream. So let me place this down and I will be right back. I need to go grab something. So we've got this good and worked in, and once again we have more excess, more than we need. So just wipe the excess off. We're going to repeat that wiping process until we stop getting excess on the inner. So just a hair. So this is probably good right here. And then everybody's favorite thing, the water spray bottle. So the way I like to do this, and this is what you would do after you have properly maintained the slide, because what they call the lubricants are actually treatments that fill pores in the slide, and water, the goal of the treatments is to keep water from beating up, so it makes hundreds of thousands of water ball bearings on the inner and outer slide, and that is what actually gives you the action on the slide. And so I like to get the smallest beads possible, so I hold the sprayer about a foot away. That in for just a minute. And this is what you would need to do for your action, like during rehearsals and stuff. You can see, let me grab a bell section real quick.
Let's just see how far the handslide falls out.
Unaided. So in the playing position, it'll fall to, ooh. Let's see if we can get that. So just the playing position. Can you see that on the stocking? Let me see if I can support this enough to get it the rest of the way off. So that had about an inch to go before it fell off, and this slide isn't even broken in. I'm still cleaning out the crud from doing some polishing on the slide tubes. So that just tells you how important the maintenance and lubrication process is. So you should need to do this do the thorough swabbing once every couple of days, and then you can apply a little bit of your treatment in the mornings, like just maybe a little dime-sized dot, and work that new in. But the water is the important thing. We want to keep the water from beating up, and that is why we apply all of these sealants and treatments to the slide. So hopefully this does help you guys, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good one.